Hello everybody and welcome to Cafe Le Grand Video Vino. I'm your host, Ron. Tonight, Sunday night, we're going to have hamburgers for dinner. So looked to open a bottle of wine, as usual, and reached for a sort of an interesting wine. A lot of you may not have had one of these before, so perhaps it'll be new to you. This is the 2007 Lazurro Nero d'Avola. Nero d'Avola. Also sometimes pronounced Nero d'Avola. Everything I've seen says it should be pronounced d'Avola. And it is from Sicily. So Sicily is the island off the toe of the boot of Italy. And being Sicily, even though it's not Italy, it's Sicily, it falls underneath all of Italian wine laws and regulations, things like that. However, on the bottle, it says product of Sicily. So let me just confirm this. It actually says product of Italy, but it always says Sicily on every label I've ever seen when it talks about Sicilian wine. So this is an IGT, which is one of the categories of Italian wine. So meaning that it's typical of the grapes from that region, things like that. It doesn't fall underneath the higher tiered level, if that means anything. I'm not going to get into it. Much longer video than we need to. So this is the 2007 Lazurro Nero d'Avola from Sicily. It should be 100%. I'm sure it's 100%. Nero d'Avola as a grape is oftentimes described as not necessarily very acidic, which is contrary when you think about Italian wine. At least when I think about Italian red wine, I always think about high acid wines to match the high acid foods. All the tomato things like tomato sauces, which require high acid foods, require high acid wine. This one's always described as not necessarily being that. As a grape, really you don't see it anywhere except for Sicily, which is interesting because of how much people are experimenting all over the world, especially the United States, with the various grapes from other parts. The Nero d'Avola is also often known as, or at least in the area, as Calabrese or Calabrese. Calabrese? You'll probably, I'm slaughtering, I'm sure, so if you know how to pronounce it, feel free to correct me. So let's take a look at the wine. Incidentally, this is going to be Cafe Le Grand April Red selection for our wine club. So if you're tuning in from the newsletter, thanks for checking it out. We purposely didn't put a lot about the wine in the newsletter so that you would come and read about it here. And so below I should have a bunch of links and about the grape and the region and Sicily and all sorts of different things. So let's take a look at the wine. It's a beautiful color, very purple. When I first opened it up and I looked at it, I thought, looks purple, looks sort of Shiraz-ish to me. A little like Australian Shiraz. I'm actually going to put a little bit more in here to the BFG. Beat it up a little bit. So on the nose I'm getting a lot of purple fruit, a lot of purple black fruit. It almost smells Shiraz-ish to me as well. You know, it's sort of got that, dare I say, a little one-dimensional on the nose just right off the bat. Now smelling a little bit more, it's got some rustic characteristics, almost like there's some tobacco, not cigar, but sort of tobacco, and almost green, almost herbaceous, not herbaceous and not vegetal, but just a little bit on the green side of the tobacco, not completely, you know, that dark tobacco. It also smells, and it's a little bit less so. When I first opened it up and I smelled it, I thought fuzzy purple. And of course, fuzzy isn't an aroma, and purple's not an aroma, but that's what it brought to mind, was that sort of lush fruit, fuzzy, kind of almost like a warm comfort type aroma. There's definitely something a little vegetal about it, but it's a dark vegetal and not real green. It smells good. It's rustic. It's not overly complex, not real deep, not real layered. Ooh. It's good. A lot of the same characteristics on the palate as I was getting on the nose. That fruit. There's still something a little bit rustic, vegetal. The tannins, well, they're not rough tannins, but they're definitely present. The wine's not high acid. It's medium acid. The tannins are definitely there. Certainly not pronounced, but pretty lush too. Again, maybe a little fuzzy in that regard when I think about the tannin structure in here. Now, I couldn't find much about the wine, so I don't know about the winemaking characteristics or how it was gone about. The grape Nero d'Avola is oftentimes just made sort of as a young drinking wine. However, from certain areas, particularly in the far southeast of Sicily, around the town of Noto, as well as the town of Vola, the grapes can be made and can withstand some oak aging and can be made to age. So Nero, meaning black in Italian, Nero d'Avola, the township of Avola is sort of where they come up and where it's known for. The entire country, obviously, is a big island, so it's very Mediterranean in climate, but it's also very mountainous, and it's extremely hot down in the southern portion. So sometimes the grapes can ripen to high alcohol. This one I don't think is, see, it's only 13%, so it's not big alcohol. You don't notice the alcohol at all on the palate. It's well balanced. For an inexpensive wine, it's very well balanced. Still, simple wine, not overly complex. The tannins are pleasant. I like tannin, though. That's me. And it does have that rustic characteristic, almost rustic tobacco nature to it. A little bit of leather. Now it seems like I'm getting maybe a little bit of oak influence on there. I can't be sure, but it's kind of what I get, that rustic nature to it. It's nice. This is the Wine Club wine, as I said, for April, for Cafe Legrand's Wine Club. Comes in at about $10.99 a bottle, so $11 a bottle. Nice, easy drinking, daily drinking wine at $11. Something different. It's going to go great with our hamburgers. It's decent. If you haven't checked out Nero d'Avola or Nero d'Avola, however you want to pronounce it, it's fine with me. I recommend you do so. Be adventurous, check out some other grapes. Don't always go back to the same old, try something interesting, which is what we obviously always try to do with the Wine Club. At any rate, that's a tasting for tonight. I think that my hamburger is probably about done, so I'm going to get up and enjoy the wine with the burger. It's nice. Thanks for checking out the Cafe Legrand blog and Video Vino, and stop into the shop sometime. Cafe Legrand, or we're changing the way you look at wine. Nego. Come here. Come here. Thanks for tuning in to Cafe Legrand Video Vino, or we're changing the way you look at wine. What do you think? What do you think?